All right. Let's see if we can get this stream going here. It says I am live, so hopefully this is working as it should be here. Hope you guys are doing well. Right now, it should be streaming to YouTube and Facebook. This is my first time live streaming to Facebook. So if you're watching this on Facebook, let me know in the comments if it's coming through as it should be. Hopefully this streaming software is working as it should. But yeah, I'm excited to be here and be able to do a Q&A with you guys and do the giveaway. And yeah, I see Bo's comment there. Fingers crossed, definitely fingers crossed for you guys. I know we had a lot of entries in the giveaway, and I hope you guys are excited to potentially win some. So in the meantime, let me know what you guys want to talk about for the Q&A portion. You can see my cat Jackson. Actually, that's Maui behind me. He might join us for this live stream, so we'll see. But hopefully this is working well. Hope you guys have had a good week. And yeah, let's see what you guys want to talk about. Hey Albert, how you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Ivan, we got somebody on Facebook. All right, hey Ivan, how are you? I guess that means it's on Facebook. And I'm open to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. We can talk about anything from cars, tech, life, whatever you guys want to know. You got me for maybe about an hour. Does that sound good? I think an hour works. I will say, as we're getting started here, I am excited for things that I have coming up, and I'll share some of that with you guys. I have different products that I'm reviewing that are some pretty neat things that I think you guys are gonna like. That are pretty cool. I have a robot lawnmower that I'm in the process of reviewing, which is pretty neat. From Memotion, it's called a Luba 2, and I've put out a couple of short videos on it, but I'm excited to do the full review because it's really nice. Definitely comes in handy, and it's it doesn't cut everything, and I'll share this in the full review, but I'll let you guys know it doesn't cut everything all around, but it does basically 98% of what I need it to do. So I'm a big fan of it. But hey, Dan, how's it going? And again, this is for the 3D Mats USA floor mats too. I'll be doing the giveaway after the Q&A. I'll go ahead and pick the random winner there. And stay tuned because I am going to be doing more giveaways. I have so many things that I've done reviews on, and I don't have a need for them, so I need to be giving them away. And it's been a while since I've done a giveaway, but I need to get back into doing that. So definitely stay tuned, even if you don't win. But hopefully, good luck for you guys. Let's see. So Ivan says, "What do you think about the pillar covers for the EV6 door panels pillars? Mine are all scratched, and I've been thinking about getting them." I don't know that I've actually looked into pillar covers. I assume you're talking about the black pillars between the doors that are gloss black, and they probably show scratches pretty well. So yeah, I mean that's if there's something out there that you can get. Like I said, I haven't looked at any covers for it. I know that you could have them wrapped, and I know people have done that. But if you are worried about scratches, or if you are getting a bunch of scratches, yeah, that's something that would be probably beneficial to get. Dan says, mind an EV6 / T-Box question. Yeah, any T-Box questions? I'm glad to answer any questions that you have on the EV6 or the T-Box or anything. So let me know what you got. What you're curious about. I will say, if you guys aren't familiar with the T-Box Plus or the T-Box UHD that I recently reviewed, I definitely recommend them, especially for like the EV6 or any EV where you're going to be sitting for a long period of time. The fact, I know some people have reviewed it and said that they weren't that great for like wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but I wouldn't get that if that's all you want. There are numerous wireless adapters out there, but the T-Box Plus and the T-Box UHD and also the AutoCast P3 that I reviewed, they all provide a lot more than just wireless functionality. You can basically install any Android app you want. You can watch videos on your car's display, still run Waze, Google Maps, that type of thing. So they're definitely good to have. Albert says, when I lowered my car, did I have to do a wheel alignment? I bought a Pro Kit, haven't installed it yet. Yeah, definitely need a wheel alignment. It's if you don't do an alignment, it really throws off the camber, and the toe was also off too. So they do their best when they do an alignment. Mine on my previous EV6 was able to get right back within spec, but it was like right at the borderline, but it was still within spec where it should be. But you'll definitely, after you want to maybe wait a week or two just to make sure your springs fully settle, and then take it to a shop and get a full alignment. Dan says, so periodically it seems as the car and the T-Box don't talk. The box connects to the phone, but display doesn't switch. So that's something that with the EV6, it seems. So obviously I've had an EV6 for over 2 years now. Early on with this type of device, it would automatically switch to the T-Box Plus or load up Android Auto or whatever, right as the car loaded up. But it seems like maybe a year ago or so, it became very intermittent where it wouldn't just automatically load into the interface. What I did is on the controls, where the infotainment controls and the climate controls are, there's a star. And one of the things that you can adjust is what the star goes to. And I set my star to be phone projection. So basically, if it doesn't automatically load up on the screen with my T-Box Plus, I just hit the star and then it loads it up, because the car sees it as Apple CarPlay, and that's the way that I get to it quickly. But yeah, I feel like it's something with an update, maybe like 2 or 3 updates ago, that made it to where it doesn't load it up automatically for whatever reason. I don't know the why behind it, unfortunately. What else you guys got? Make sure I haven't missed any questions here. Make sure everything's coming through as it should too. Yeah, it looks like it's coming through on Facebook and YouTube. Good. Good. Glad you're not alone. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely not just you. I have that same issue for one reason or another. I don't know the why behind it, but that's the way I get around that. So, what else you guys want to talk about? I'm an open book. I mean, I'm just clicking around while I wait for y'all to ask me some questions, whatever you want to talk about. Oh, one thing I do want to say, let me pull that up actually. And actually, I do have something here while it's pulling up. Is there a way to tell if the ICCU update has been applied? Mine was completely replaced, and the app says I still need the recall done. So the ICCU update is not something that you can easily see if it has been applied or not, unfortunately. You can't view the software for the ICCU. I don't think that's one that you can actually pull in Car Scanner. So I know some people were having some concerns about that when those were being done. That said, when it comes to recalls, I don't know how recently you had your ICCU update replaced or ICCU replaced and the update done, but it can take up to a week for the recall notification to go away in the app or the online system when you look at it. So if you just had it done recently, then it probably will go away. If it's been more than a few weeks, then you may want to contact like Kia Connect support or something like that, because you should have had that notification go away by now. And Dave says, "I'm here." Hi, Dave. I'm glad you're here. Brian, it was in June, and they had the car for almost 2 months. Well, that's not a good thing. That should have been cleared by now. So I would talk to maybe the dealership or Kia Connect support just to see what's going on there, because you shouldn't be getting the notification anymore unless for whatever reason it wasn't fully updated. Maybe they replaced the ICCU but didn't do the software update, if there was a software update that needed to be done at the time, or what have you. But I would definitely contact them. Now, one thing I did want to talk about real quick is the Electric Vehicle Festival, and actually, I'm going to share my screen here real quick. So this is the Electric Vehicle Festival that I went to last year. I'm sure some of you guys probably saw videos that I've done on it, but this is at Dominion Raceway in Virginia, and I had created a Facebook event about it. But basically, it's a full day where you're able to take, if you have an EV, you're able to take your car out on the road course and do some high speed laps. They're paced laps, there's no passing. So it is safe, but it is at speed, and you can go pretty fast. I've definitely pushed my car pretty fast. A lot of people push their cars pretty fast, and it's a ton of fun to be able to take the car out. You can meet a lot of people. I give people rides. I gave tons of people rides last year and the year before last, and I'm excited to give people rides this year in my EV6 GT. They also have drag racing, and they'll have vendors, and it's definitely a good time. So if you guys can get to Virginia and you have an EV, I definitely would. Hey, look, there's my old EV6 right there. But if you can get to Virginia and you have an EV, I definitely recommend coming out if you can. Um, the pricing, the website is electricvehiclefest.com. The pricing is on here. If you use promo code TECHJEFF, it does save you a decent amount. There's also, like I said, drag racing. There's gonna be a car show. There's a number of things that go on, but I definitely recommend it. The date is the 19th to the 20th of October, and that puts it at, let me pull up the calendar. That Saturday is the day that I will be there, so that's the 19th. So if you are going to come out, that's the date that I would recommend coming out. But it is a lot of fun. I can't recommend it enough, because I think a lot of people aren't necessarily aware that that type of thing exists, and it is, like I said, it's so much fun. It's something I really look forward to every year. So let's see. So Dan says, since switching to the GT, have I had a point of regretting the seats or the range? There's some steals out there. So I have not. I like the seats a lot. I do wish they were power seats, because when my wife drives, I do have to. She's a foot shorter than me, so we definitely don't have the same seating position. But it's not bad. When I get in after her, basically I scoot the seat back and I lower the seat down, and that's pretty much all I have to do. Um, and as for the range, it is definitely less than my previous EV6, but it's not enough to really cause any kind of issues. Just today, I had just charged up to 100% because I'm going to be doing a lot of driving over the next couple of days, and it was showing like 240 miles of range on the guessometer. Realistically, and today, driving a decent amount, it was averaging 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. So it's not horrible by any means. Realistically, in like 70-degree weather on the highway at 70 miles an hour, probably go about 210 miles, 220 miles, which isn't bad. And considering all the additional power and everything that comes with the EV6 GT, it is well worth it, in my opinion, to have a little bit less range. I know people who have the all-wheel drive EV6 or Ioniq 5, just the regular ones. I'm sure feel like that's plenty of power, and that's what I felt before too. But I have to say, coming from, and I mean, it is quick. My previous EV6 would do 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. Definitely quick. But the EV6 GT is a whole nother beast. 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds is what I've tested. But what's really impressive is the throttle response in GT mode and the speed after like 40 miles an hour. So the EV6 GT does 0 to 100 in under 8 seconds, whereas my previous EV6 wind all-wheel drive would do 0 to 100 in just under 13 seconds. So the EV6 GT is literally 5 seconds faster from 0 to 100. That's pretty crazy. It just does not fall off like a lot of other EVs do, and like a lot of the other all-wheel drive Kias and Hyundais do. So I'm very happy I made the switch. And like you just said, there's some steals out there. There absolutely are. I think the EV6 GT is probably one of the best deals that you can get in a performance vehicle right now. I've had some people ask me about the Ioniq 5N, which I like some aspects of it. There's some things I don't like about it, but for the most part, I like the Ioniq 5N. But price wise, you can't really get a good deal on them for under MSRP, and there's not a lot of incentives. So you can get an EV6 GT for probably $15,000 less or more than an Ioniq 5N and get 95% of the performance of the Ioniq 5N. So that's just my perspective. But yeah, I'm very happy with the EV6 GT. So Ramon says, same thing happened to me. The ICC recall was taken care of, still have the notification. It was 2 weeks ago, almost 3 now. Yeah. It should be gone by now if everything was done properly. This is Miss Penelope coming up behind me here. Apparently she wants to be on video. But yeah, it should be gone by now. If you guys still have that, talk to the dealership, talk to Kia Connect, find out why it's still there, because you should not have that showing in the app for any more than, like I said, about a week. So what else you guys want to talk about? Trying to remember now. I was working on getting everything set up, and I with having it be on Facebook and on YouTube, and I was trying to make sure I remembered what I wanted to talk about, and I did not make a list of anything, so now I'm trying to remember offhand. But like I said, whatever you guys want to talk about, let me know. I'll gladly talk to you about anything. Maybe I could give you guys some updates on some products that I have reviewed and whether or not I still like them. So one product I get a lot of questions about is the FitCam X dash cam. Still very happy with the FitCam X. Had it in my previous EV6 up until I traded it in. Even traded it in with the FitCam X installed, and I got it for my new EV6 GT. It's working well, no issues, easy installation, and by far is the cleanest looking dash cam setup of any vehicle I've seen. So I'm definitely a fan of that. Definitely recommend it. The video quality isn't the best of the best, but it's fine for what it is. And like I said, it's the cleanest setup you can get. Super easy installation. You don't have to worry about it draining your battery because it just pulls from the rearview mirror, which is powered down when the vehicle's off anyway. So still definitely recommend that. Let's see, we got a question here from Brian. Any thoughts on time frame for access to the supercharger network? So it's supposed to be by the end of this year. So I would assume 4Q, which would be October to December. So hopefully then. I know it's going to be somewhat soon. I assume Kia and Hyundai will get access at the same time, and the new Ioniq 5 supposedly is going to have the NACS port, the Tesla supercharging port from the factory for 2025. Most likely it's going to be on the 2025 EV6 as well. So with those coming out pretty soon, I assume we'll get access pretty soon too. Now, I will say, don't expect super fast speeds from the Tesla supercharging network. because it's not able to do the full 800 volts that we would want to see to get our top speed. So you may only get around 100 kilowatts or so, but it's still not bad. They're reliable, and there's a lot of them, so they could definitely come in handy. Hey, Ashley. Bo said, just got my car last week. Is there any way to see if recalls were already performed? So that's challenging. It depends on what it is. When you do get a car, if you buy it new from a dealership, they're supposed to, part of the pre-delivery inspection is complete any kind of outstanding recalls or service actions, not necessarily technical service bulletins, but the recalls and service actions, those should automatically have been done. Depending on the recalls, I have on my website, I have a list of all the recalls and you can see the PDF information. But a lot of them do have software information in the recall. And if you have car scanner and a Bluetooth OBD2 adapter, you can pull up your software versions and compare what you have in your vehicle to what is in the recall, just to see if you have the updated software. But other than that, there's not really a way to verify, unless, like I said, it depends on the recall. But like one of them, one of the I guess it was a TSB that we had a while back, was to enable battery conditioning for the battery in cold climates where it would warm the battery if you're en route to an EV charger. That one is easy to tell if you go to the infotainment system and look. If you have a winter mode, then it hasn't been updated. If you have battery conditioning listed, then it has been updated. So other than that, those are the ones I got. Ramon said, have the FitCam X, but I would love to have it set up as a Sentinel cam, watching everything. Obviously, key EV6 go to sleep, and the cam as well. So FitCam X does sell a hardwiring kit that you can get if you want to hardwire the FitCam X. I personally do not want to do that simply because I don't have to worry about my 12-volt battery dying. But like I said, they do sell that. So if that's something that you do want, you could get that, test it out, let me know how it works. Because like I said, I haven't tested it personally, but they do have that option available. So that way it's going 24/7. Let's see. Whenever the 2025 models will come up, I heard Kia was waiting for the full tax credit to release them. I don't think that they're going to get the full. So to get the full tax credit in the U.S., Kia would have to be building the vehicles in the U.S. And I don't think Kia has a plant. I know Hyundai does, but I don't think Kia does, where they'll be assembling the EV6 in the U.S. I know the EV9 was going to be. I don't know about the EV6. And I wouldn't think that they would wait to release a new model year simply because of the tax credit. But that's just my perspective. But I think it should be within a couple months they'll have the information out and probably start releasing the 2025s. What else do you guys want to talk about? Heard that for the EV9 built in the US. Yeah, the EV9 is going to be built in the US starting, I think, next year. I will say, as of right now, you can get crazy good deals on the EV9 and EV6. They've got a lot of incentives and are passing along, even though you don't get the full tax credit, they are passing along a lot of incentives, which I do think is interesting because I'm sure a lot of you guys saw the video when the EV9 was first released and the pricing was released. I put out a video talking about how I thought it was priced too high to be competitive, and that I thought it should maybe be like $5,000 to $10,000 less. And it's interesting that they have incentives out now that end up essentially pricing it to be $5,000 to $10,000 less, like I said. So I did definitely find that interesting. EV9 with the NACS will be a hard thing to pass on. Yeah, honestly, the EV9 is really nice. I know he said the same thing here. Traded EV6 for EV9 and love it. The EV9 is nice. I like it a lot. I had that EV9 land for a week. Did a lot of videos on that. Honestly, I recorded a lot of footage that I haven't even released yet. I still need to go back and do that. If you guys don't know, this isn't my full-time job. So it makes it more challenging to be able to put out videos all the time. But I do have a lot of footage from the EV9. Really liked it. Had tons of space. It was quick. and it charged quickly. The range was solid, just all around solid vehicle. I just thought, like I said, that it was probably about $5,000 to $10,000 more expensive than it should have been. But now with the incentives, it's down back where it should be, and you can get really good deals on leases too. So new EV6 lease right here, and that EV9 is just pretty. Yes, I agree. The EV9 does look good. I like the look of it a lot. Now, let's see other products I've reviewed, whether I still like them or not. Talked about the FitCam X. Obviously, you guys know I like the T-Box Plus from CarLinkit. I use that daily, literally daily, and it's really nice. The OMU battery. So I get questions about the OMU battery all the time, and I am going to do a video fairly soon. I'm actually going to do a couple because I just got an OMU battery for my boat too, which is awesome because it's the highest capacity Group 31 battery you can get. So it's going to essentially make it so I can run my boat, run music on my boat for hours and hours and hours, and not have to worry about running the battery down. But OMU batteries, I definitely am a big fan of. I know some people had seen a teardown video from Engineerix, is that the name of the YouTube channel? There was a teardown video that came out maybe a year or two ago, and it definitely did not look good with the OMU battery. And I had reached out to them, and they've done a lot of updates since that battery. That battery actually was a really old version of their battery, but their new batteries are built a lot better. It's a different design completely. Now they have also self-heating and Bluetooth monitoring built in, and for the price, I don't think you can do any better. To be honest, they're lightweight, they last a long time, they work well. People that I know that have gotten the OMI batteries, just like me, basically you never see the orange light on the dash of the EV6 anymore. No issues with it starting or draining really fast or any of that. So very happy with the OMI battery. Let's see. Where did I put my front plates? My front plate for my car is sitting in the glove box. Even though I live in Virginia and a front plate is required, I don't run a front plate. I haven't had a front plate on one of my vehicles in quite a while. I think it makes the front end look bad, and maybe not necessarily bad, but it clutters up the front end. I think it looks better. It's more clean when you don't have a front plate. There are so many states out there that don't require front plates. I just don't see the point. So mine's in my glove box. Let's see. As we waited in the lobby, we saw 3 different families come in and buy theirs. Talking about the EV9. Yeah, yeah, they're definitely not cheap. But like I said, you can get really good deals. You can, if you're open to leasing, they have such crazy good lease incentives out there, and they're selling these, depending on the trim, 3 and 4,000 or more under MSRP plus the incentive, so you can get it for pretty cheap, to be honest. So not cheap, but when you're talking about a $70,000 vehicle and you're only paying $700 a month for a lease, it's pretty good. EV9 experiencing the same ICCU issues as the EV6. I think I've seen some people post about it, but not nearly as prevalent as with the EV6 and the Ioniq 5. And to be honest, I haven't seen as much about the EV6 and Ioniq 5 over the past few months, to be honest. So hopefully it's something that they're working out. So did kind of talk about this a little bit already. Tesla superchargers unlocked for key EVs. Probably by the end of the year, we'll have access. The Magic Dock is essentially the experience that we can expect. We'll just have to use an adapter as opposed to the built-in adapter on the Magic Dock. But like I said, it'll probably be about 100 kilowatt charging speeds, which isn't super fast, but it's not slow. Definitely, they're reliable, and it will be nice once we actually do have the access there. So. Can I do that here in Texas? I don't want to put a hole in my EV6. Let me Google real quick. Texas requires both front and rear license plates. So that's gonna depend on what you want to try and get away with. I don't know if anybody else who's watching is in Texas. I don't know how strict they are, at least in Virginia. They're not that strict when it comes to license plates. I haven't run a front license plate in many, many years, and I don't think I've ever gotten a ticket for it. Maybe one time in a Mustang a while back, but I think I also had gotten a ticket for maybe 1 or 2 other things, and they just kind of threw everything on that they could at the time. So, but in general, at least in Virginia, they're not going to just pull you over for that. California has sticker plates. I have heard about this. That is interesting. It's good to not have to put holes in the car. But yeah, we use two. It's mandatory to have two. Yeah. I mean, in a lot of states, it's mandatory to have two. It's just whether or not you're actually going to get caught or pulled over for it or actually get a ticket for it. And if you do get a ticket, how much is the ticket going to be? I think in Virginia, the ticket's only like $80 um, plus the court costs. So maybe like 150 ultimately. But I don't want to put a hole in my car. I don't want to make it not look as clean by putting a front plate on it. So that's just my perspective. It's kind of like window tint. If you go a little bit darker than the legal limit in your area, in most places they're not going to pull you for it unless you're drastically lower. So, but yeah. All right. So, eh, nice face. Let's see. What other things have I reviewed that I can talk about? Or maybe I can talk about some upcoming reviews. So I talked about the robot lawnmower that I'm reviewing. That's going to be exciting. Got a new cat litter box, automatic cat litter box. I'm going to be testing out from, I think it's called Nikasa. Yeah, Nikasa. Not 100% sure how you pronounce it, but I am excited to test that out. Obviously, you saw a couple of my cats already in this video, but having a good cat litter box is important. And the Casa Leo litter box that I have already is working good, and I'm excited to test out another one there. Oh, one thing I do want to talk about, since I know a lot of you guys have eGMP vehicles, whether it's the EV6, Ionic 5, EV9, those types of vehicles, I definitely recommend getting something like the Nature's Generator transfer switch, or transfer switch from any company that works well. I know Nature's Generators works well and are good priced. I have the 12 circuit transfer switch now, and it really comes in handy. If you guys aren't aware, check out my videos that I've done on them. But basically, it gets installed next to your electrical panel, and if your power goes out, you just literally plug in the car, and it can provide backup power to your house and power a bunch of circuits. I have the 12 circuit one right now, and it's really nice. My power's gone out probably a dozen times over the past couple of years, and each time I just go outside, plug in the car, and within 5 minutes I'm back up and running, and got all my lights on, internet's working, refrigerators going, like almost like there's no issue at all. So I can't recommend it enough. Every now and then I'll see somebody post something showing extension cords and things run throughout their house, which that does work. But if you really want a solution that makes it so everything kind of works like it is powered by the electrical company, then a transfer switch works really well. All your outlets would still work, light switches still work, all that stuff. So it's definitely good to have. So let's see. Oh, Ramon had to go. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. I'm glad you're able to join for a little bit here. Have I tried the Ionic Guy's auto lock device? I have not. That is something that there's a couple companies that have it. I know the Ionic Guy has his. Shark Racing has one. Personally, and this is just my perspective, I wouldn't trust it to do it all the time. I have heard of some people having some issues where it like locked it when it shouldn't have, or it didn't lock it when they thought it was locked. And ultimately, if I can't have 100% confidence in it, then I'm just going to be locking it with my key anyway. And at that point, what's the point? That's my perspective. I also know that for at least like for the wind, EV6 wind that I had previously, apparently it would beep the horn when it did it, and I'm not a fan of that. But that's just my perspective. I lock it, my vehicles with my key anyway. And if something happens and I don't happen to not lock it, then Key Connect will send me a notification that the car's still unlocked. So, and then I'll go in and lock it. So, but I know some people have gotten it and are happy with it. But like I said, for me, I've seen enough people post that it hasn't worked 100% of the time that I don't see justifying getting something like that I'm not going to be 100% confident in. So Bruce said he's got the Nature's Generator transfer switch, but hasn't had to use it. Installation was easy. Yeah, installation's not bad at all. I'm not an electrician, and I'm pretty confident I'd actually be able to do it. But I did have an electrician do it. It took them for the 12 circuit one. It took them I think it was about 2 hours, and that included taking out my previous one and then installing the new one. And that added a decent amount of time. And I have a very full panel. I have solar panels. I have a very full panel, so that makes it even more complicated. So it definitely should not be expensive if you are going to have somebody do it for you. Yeah. Need to lock your car? Go lock your car then. Let's see. What else can I talk about? And if you guys have anything you want to talk about, leave a note in the comments. Oh, real quick, can you guys also let me know how's the microphone sounding? How's the volume? If you're on Facebook, YouTube, let me know how the volume is. I want to make sure everything's coming through good. I'm using something called StreamYard. I did this for my last live stream that I did just on YouTube. Now that it's on Facebook, it's supposed to be putting it out to both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. And I just want to make sure everything's working as it should. So let me know. Wonder if we will have the Kia EV3 released in the US. Yeah, so we are supposed to get it in the US, is my understanding. We're not going to get the Kia EV5, but the EV3 is supposed to be coming. I'm trying to Google now if there's any kind of information out there about the EV3 coming to the USA. I know I think it's going to be very popular when it does come, just the size and everything. I think it's going to be really really popular. It seems to be about the size, maybe a little bit bigger than a Nero, more SUV shaped, a little bit higher up, but new platform and it should work well. So it says, from what I'm finding online, some are saying first half of 2025 release in the US. Some are saying late 25, early 26. So don't know 100%, but like there's an article on electric.com .co that says it's expected to launch in the US in early 2025. So apparently it has been spotted testing in the US. I do like the EV3 though. Audio is great. Good. I'm glad. I am using a different microphone here. Not different, I've used this before, but this is better than just a webcam microphone. So hopefully it would be coming in halfway decent. Right now, I'm just on my website going back through some things just to see if there's anything else that I get questions on that I know a lot of people are interested in that I can address maybe for a lot of you guys here. But like I said, if you guys want to talk about something, by all means, let me know. And let me know if you guys have any questions on anything that I have reviewed or anything with the car. Let me know what you guys think about the most recent software update for Kia and Hyundai vehicles. Personally, I gotta say it's a big letdown. Obviously, I've been a big fan of Kia vehicles for a few years. I had a Nero EV before my previous EV6. Then I had that EV6 for a couple of years. Now I've had this EV6. I like Kia vehicles. I think you get a lot for the money with Kia and Hyundai. I cannot believe that their software is not horrible, but you really should, and especially with EVs, you should be putting out regular updates that change or improve things. And there's almost nothing changing or improving with the updates. And I feel like EVs in general have owners that are fond of tech and like innovation. And when you see companies like Tesla and Rivian and even Ford and GM putting out infotainment systems that get regular updates, And then Kia and Hyundai have updates where we get sports scores. Sports scores, really? Like that was the biggest thing I think that from their end was done. And just don't know how many people were really asking for that. Like, who's going to use their infotainment system to get sports scores when you can just pull up your phone and look at it probably quicker and more accurately? And they didn't even include football, which this is a USA update, and American football is the most popular sport, and it's not even there. That's just, yeah, Dan, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's just disappointing. So I have seen some people say it resets their settings. It didn't reset mine. Actually, I doubt your name is Ordinary, but I'm going to call you that, or maybe it's Rob. Rob, did you have an over-the-air update, or did you do the update? Did you download it to USB drive and then install it manually? I'm curious if maybe the over-the-air update didn't reset settings, but maybe the manual update did. I am curious about that. They want to charge more for services in the car. So, yeah, I think companies in general want to charge more for services. They want to make people pay for like the ultimate plan for Kia Connect. But I think there's a big asterisk here. Kia started including it for 3 years on new cars, not the EV6, which is interesting, but like for the EV9, you get it for 3 years. And if they're already going to include it for 3 years, they're not going to get that much revenue from it. It's interesting. Very interesting. Rivian's going to start charging for services as well. Yep, I have seen that information come out. Honestly, if they're putting out updates and they're meaningful updates, they're improving things are running smoother. With Rivian, obviously they have more cameras if they're updating that type of thing. They also bought ABRP, which means that their route planning is going to obviously get integrated with ABRP systems and really probably make huge strides there. But that costs money and software development teams and that type of thing. So if the money is going towards that and you're getting meaningful updates from it, by all means, I think that's fine. Kia Connect, paying $200 a year to get almost no updates, I'm not a big fan of that. So anyway. Maybe make the Ioniq 5 an EV6. I'm not 100% sure what you're referring to. Are you talking about, Dan, are you talking about the default car display on the infotainment system? Like when you're on the home screen where it shows a car and it's clearly not an EV6 and looks more like an Ioniq 5? I don't think it looks exactly like an Ioniq 5, but I know it looks similar to one. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Yeah, if they updated that. I know a lot of people have requested that too. Yours was over the air. That's interesting. None of my settings got reset. Everything seemed to work fine for mine. So very interesting that we would have a different experience there. It is interesting looking at this infotainment system, or not the infotainment system. No, I'm talking about it. I'm looking at this live streaming software, just how this works with Facebook and YouTube and the chat all together and everything. Ah, that was what you're talking about. Okay. Yeah, updating that would be nice. And honestly, that's just like that should be a very simple update. And the fact they haven't done that just shows that they're not putting that much effort into it, in my opinion. Many have over the air USB is a pain. Yeah. So before this update, the over the air updates were pretty inconsistent, but this one, it seemed honestly that pretty much everybody was getting it within the first few days, at least having it start downloading. I know some people would, if you don't live somewhere where you have good service, it might take a long time for it to download and actually push through the update. But it seemed like a lot of people were having the updates automatically installed. So that's good. It seems like maybe they updated their servers on the back end to push out the update to more people. It would be nice to see updates like Tesla with features, range. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Range, you're not going to really get a change, at least in the current generation of the EV6. EV9 could, because it's a fully integrated over-the-air system where it can update the vehicle systems. The next generation EV6 and Ioniq 5 is also going to be able to do that, so they could theoretically push out updates to enable more usable battery capacity or that type of thing. But features-wise, though, they can absolutely update the infotainment system however they want. And we should see more features, just being blunt. Bum-ba-dum, bum-ba-dum-ba-dum. What else you guys want to talk about? Let's see how we're doing. Hopefully this doesn't mess anything up with me trying to view information about the streams on my phone as well as having the streams going here, but hopefully everything's working as it should. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any other questions that you have about the cars or tech or anything? Let's see. Have I heard anything about the next EV6 headlights to be projectors like in Europe? Yeah, next EV6 is going to have projector headlights. They look. At first, I wasn't the biggest fan of them, and I'm not the biggest fan of just the overall design. I think the current EV6 is more aggressive looking, and I like the design of the headlights. I just wish they were projector, but yeah, it's my understanding that the EV6 in all markets is going to have the projector LED headlights, which is a big upgrade because even though the headlights in the EV6 are, I would say, good, they're definitely not great or excellent. They're just good. So, do I plan to replace my Chrysler Pacifica? So my wife would say absolutely, and I would say the same thing. So I will say two things. We have a just so you guys are aware that don't know, we have a Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid. We've had it for what year is it? 2024. We've had it for over 3 years now. We've got 65,000 miles on it, and it has been at the dealership for service probably 20 different times. And this isn't just for regular maintenance. So we've had parts fail. We've had numerous things replaced more than once. It's just not a reliable vehicle. The most recent example is we had it into the dealership because the Uconnect, which is the infotainment system, kept saying it needed service, so they had to replace the entire infotainment system module. And then we had an issue with the front sensors, which impacts the adaptive cruise control, the automatic emergency braking, that type of thing. And that module had to be replaced. They also had to replace the wiring harness that it connects to. And that front sensor module had been replaced 2 times prior. And my wife texted me this past week. So we picked it up about a week and a half ago, maybe a week ago. And my wife texted me this past week and sent me a picture, and we were having the same error again, where it was having an issue and says it needs service, and it makes it so that those features don't work. So yet again, gonna have to take it to the dealership. My wife has an appointment on Monday, and it's very frustrating. So, what stinks is if it didn't have these issues, it would be almost the ideal vehicle. It has so much space. It has so many features. It goes 30 miles roughly, all electric range, which is great. And then when the all electric range is gone, it gets 30 miles a gallon on the city, in the highway, like in the city on the highway. It gets 30 miles a gallon. We drive, obviously, in 3 years, we put 65,000 miles on it. We've driven it to Florida a couple of times. We've driven numerous places, and it works really well for the vast majority of situations. It has the sliding doors, which is nice, especially when you have kids. You don't have to worry about dinging anybody's doors. It's got the Uconnect theater, which has also had to be replaced, but that's the screens on the back of the front seats so the kids can watch movies or play games and that type of thing. There's 360 cameras that power everything. It's got great LED headlights and taillights. Like, it's got decent power. Like, overall, it is a fantastic vehicle. Like I said, tons of space, but it's not reliable. So eventually, it is something that I would love to replace it with something that would be maybe similar, but hopefully more reliable. You said maybe replace it with a Carnival hybrid. The challenge is the price, what we pay for the Pacifica monthly. We got it when interest rates were real low. There's no way we could get anything close to that. We'd be paying a few $100s more a month to get a Carnival hybrid that has similar features. Something I have considered that I don't know if my wife would be okay with downsizing, but I don't know, maybe would be the new 2025 Sorento plug-in hybrid. So the plug-in hybrids, the leases for them are solid because they can get the tax credit in the lease. So you can get really good incentives. So maybe we'll end up getting a Sorento plug-in hybrid, which also has just over 30 miles of electric range or so. It's also got 3 rows, doesn't have as much space behind the third row though. But in general, it'd be a nice vehicle and hopefully more reliable than the Pacifica. But who knows? But hopefully one day we'll replace it with something that's going to be better. But we'll see. What else you guys want to talk about? Anybody down in the Louisiana area that just got hit by a hurricane? Hope you guys are doing well. If you are, I know that Hurricane Francine has been dumping a lot of water down in that area. I work in insurance as my primary job, so I follow follow weather pretty closely. These big weather events like that. What else you guys want to talk about? 187 a month, 2-year leases on wind all-wheel drives in Colorado. So I think something that is important to understand with these. I'm pretty sure this is in reference to an EV6. Pretty sure. That is a great deal. But big things to remember is I don't know how much down payment is required for that. I know a lot of companies, and I put out some posts on Facebook about this before, but it really is frustrating to me when I see these lease deals that are shared, and I've seen it for like the new Honda EV, the what is that called? It's not a Prelude. What is it? Whatever the new Honda EV is. I've seen it. I've seen it for Nissan, Porsche, like all kinds of EVs. But they say essentially like $399 a month, but that's with $6,000 down, and that's before taxes and fees, which really makes it like $9,500 down. So you're putting $9,500 down to spend $400 a month. You take that $9,500 out of it, realistically, you're spending $700 a month. So that's annoying, and I really dislike that. So you say here, yeah, EV6, 1,500 down. So that's pretty solid. Colorado, so the EV6 does have crazy good incentives, which is good. And then Colorado also has the additional credits there. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that you can get an EV6 for that low. And it's a phenomenal deal. And what's frustrating to me is that so many people are against EVs or not necessarily against them, but are just so misinformed about them that they don't realize that like an EV6 wind all-wheel drive is a really nice vehicle. And people are spending what you said it was 187 a month. I'm sure there are people out there spending twice that on a Toyota Corolla lease that is so much slower and not nearly as well equipped. And I wish more people knew. Prologue. Yes, that's right. Honda Prologue. Spelled a little bit different, I think, than how you have it, but yeah, that's the name of that one. From Louisiana, went just east of you. That's good. Yeah, that's good. I know it wasn't like a crazy storm, but I know it was dumping a lot of rain. So hopefully everybody's good there. I think we're getting close to winding down the live stream here. Anything else you guys want to talk about, or any other questions that you have? Is there a dog outside? Hopefully it wasn't my dog. Just kidding. My 2 dogs. I have 2 dogs, in case you guys didn't know. Both of my dogs are upstairs in my son's room with my 2 kids. They're watching a movie, and I know my dogs my dogs are great, but every now and then they'll see a neighbor's dog walking around outside and start barking like crazy, and I didn't want that for the live stream, so my kids were gracious enough to hang out with the puppies. What's on the tech pipeline for my reviews? So, talked about this some. I got that robotic lawnmower that I'm reviewing. Got that litter box, automatic litter box that I'm going to be reviewing. I just got in a projector, video projector today that I'll be reviewing. I got, you know what? It might be beneficial to pull up my email so I can see what I have over here that I've committed to. Some of you guys might not know, but I get a lot of emails from companies wanting me to review different things. A lot of times it's very odd things that I'm asked to review. Sometimes it's like makeup and stuff, which I don't. Maybe people think I need makeup. I don't know, but yeah, it's just interesting. Let's see. I have a computer that's going to be coming fairly soon, a mini computer that I'm going to be reviewing. I have a new. I think I posted this online. I have a new telescope that I'm going to be reviewing. That's pretty cool. I have a couple of smart vacuums. Actually, I shared this I think online too. I got a new Shark robot vacuum on Prime Day, and I like that a lot. So I'm going to do a review of that. I also have another company that reached out about one that they're going to be sending me to review, so that'll be pretty good to have. What else? I think I got a couple of EV charger reviews in the pipeline that I'll be reviewing. A couple of companies had asked about that. What else? One thing I get is so many requests from like graphic designers or video editors or something saying how they are devoted. Oh, this one right here, a dedicated follower of my channel. They notice how passionate my content is, but believe there's always room to improvement or room for improvement, like the thumbnail. They can help me captivate my viewers. No, I'm not going to pay somebody for any of that stuff. But I do get a lot of requests about that. Let's see. Where would we send you stuff if we want you to try out for yourself, reviewed or not? I would say email me, info@technicallyjeff.com. That's the email address I have on YouTube. That's the one that my website, if somebody fills out a contact form there, goes to. If somebody wants me to review something or try something out, they contact me through there, and then we can coordinate shipment or that type of thing. I don't know what you have in mind, but I mean, I'm always open to trying new things and testing things out. I like tech a lot. I'd love to eventually have the channel and everything turn into something like a MKBHD type thing. Obviously, I'm a long way away from there, but have had a lot of growth in the past couple of years, and maybe one day that's something where I could do it full time. But who knows? Maybe one day. What else? What else? Trying to see if there's anything else I got here. I do have. I don't know if this would be considered tech, but I know I talked about the Ohming battery, but I think I mentioned this earlier in this live stream. I don't know if you were here though, but I got a new boat. I got a Sea-Doo switch. Maybe I'll talk about that first. I got a Sea-Doo switch pontoon boat. It's actually a tri-toon, but it's so much fun. I put out some shorts showing us driving it and having fun with it. Kids tubing, people tubing. I messed up my knee with it, which was great. Tubing behind it, but it seems to be healed now. But I had tore my MCL, so that was great. But one of the things about the Sea-Doo Switch is it, like many other boats, comes with just a standard, fairly small battery. which means that you can't really play like music. Like if you want to go anchor somewhere and just hang out, you can't really play music for very long because then you might play music for a couple hours and then can't start your boat. So I talked to Ohmue and I got a Group 31 battery from Ohmue, which is the highest capacity Group 31 battery you can get. It's 180 amp hours. It's like 2.3 kilowatt hours capacity. And I now have that in the boat. I've already filmed it. I just have to compile everything and do a voiceover and post that review. But I'm really excited about that because that basically means I'll be able to play music all day. We can charge phones. We can just we can blow up tubes. Any number of things we can do without actually having to have the boat on. So like previously, I would when we had to blow up a tube, I'd make us have the boat on just idling, so that it was getting some power from the. I think it's a stator, not an alternator, but so it was getting some power, not just drawing directly from the battery, just because I didn't want to drain the battery down. But now I won't have to worry about that. So that's something I do have coming up very soon. So, oh, somebody had asked me, where was it? At some point, I don't know where it is. Oh, Steve said, did I get a drone yet? So I have not got a drone yet, but there is a drone. And actually, you know what? I'm going to show you guys. I'll just share my screen with you so you can see what I'm looking at. Come on. No, I don't want notifications. Oh. So let's see. So this is the DJI Neo, which this is just recently released, and it's pretty tiny, but it looks pretty cool. Like I said, it's real small. This doesn't really give you a good size thing, but it only weighs 135 grams. It's only $200. You can get the combo kit though, which comes with an extra battery and the two-way charger. But it's pretty neat. I've been actually debating this because it seems like you can see it here in this person's hand how small it is. But it can take off, follow you around, circle you. Like here, you can see it how it would circle around you. You can control it with your phone. It's pretty neat. And I could see this maybe turning into something that would be pretty cool to have. So I've been debating it. I don't know how much I would end up using it, but I've been debating it. So we'll see. Let's see. Back to some comments here. Voting, waiting for the Sea-Doo Rise, the e-foil board. Oh, that's pretty neat. I haven't really looked into that very much, but that'd be pretty fun. I haven't looked into the e-foil type things, but it looks like fun. Captain Drone has a great review. I'll have to check it out. I've seen a few different reviews, and it looks pretty cool. I was looking at the Hover Air one too, but the DJI one is so much less expensive. So, yeah, I think that's the one. I may have actually talked to you about it, but yeah, I think I'd have to compare the specs between the two. I have some DJI stuff already, so I may prefer that, but that has obstacle detection. I know that the new DJI Neo doesn't have obstacle detection, so that is something that made me a little apprehensive about it, to be honest, because I think that's somewhat important, especially if you're going to be in an area that might have trees or something that could hit. Obviously, you don't want it to ram right into something. So, thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, okay. I'll have to take a look at that. That's pretty cool. All right, guys. Well, it is getting kind of late. We've been on here now over an hour. So I think it's time that we should do the giveaway. So I'm going to actually pull up, let me go back here. I'm going to pull up my website. So if you guys don't know about my website, it's technicallyjeff.com. I have all my information here. This is just linked to my YouTube where it has the latest videos, got some recommended things here. I honestly don't keep this up to date like I should, but I will probably revamp this fairly soon. The discount code page had got broken at some point, so I recreated it very quickly, but it doesn't have everything in there. But the recent posts here, these are my recent reviews, basically, and recent posts that I have. So you can click on those things. Obviously, you can support me here as well. If we look at up here at the top, you can see all reviews that I have, and you can filter by different things. EV6 content, for a lot of you guys that don't know, I have a lot of EV6 content here, so things that I've tested with the EV6, EV6 news, that type of thing you can all find here. I also have EV6 bulletins, so the software bulletins, TSBs, recall information, all that is here. And you can just click on it and it pulls up the PDF. So it works pretty well. And you can, like I said, view all that information there. Also have a wheel gallery here. Somebody had requested a wheel gallery at some point to be able to see different types of wheels on the EV6. So I've got information about what you'd want to be looking for if you did get wheels. And then I have a bunch of different pictures of EV6s with various wheels installed. And then if you see one that you like, you just click on it and you can see at the bottom what the kind of wheel is. So this is the Vulcan. You can see the size and offset and go from there. And then you can also, like I said, contact me on my website too. Going back to EV6 posts though, so these are the floor mats that I am giving away. These are the 3D Mats USA Elitect floor mats for the EV6. I'll go ahead and pull up the video real quick so you guys can see them. So these are similar to the other all-weather floor mats that I reviewed for the EV6. They look good. They fit perfectly. These have ridges here, as you can see, whereas the others were more flat. I do like the ridges design more. This has the same material on the back, so they don't slide around, which is good. But I do like the ridge design more. You can see them compared to the factory floor mats for the EV6 GT, how much more coverage you get. You get the side coverage. There is a piece that does go between the front two. I didn't have that when I did the video. I missed it in the box, but it was there. And then for the back here, you can see the backs as well. For the EV6 GT, I do talk about this some in the video. So technically their website says this doesn't fit the EV6 GT. It fits all of the others, but the EV6 GT has different rear seats, or different front seats. So it makes the design around them be slightly different. But in here you can see how everything looks. I think it looks really good. But when it comes to this is the front passenger. When it comes to the rear, this is in my EV6 GT. And honestly, it fits around everything still pretty good. Even though it's not a perfect fit, I'd still run them in an EV6 GT. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys, that it still does fit pretty good around the seats there. But overall, I am a big fan of the seats. I think they look good. The floor mats, and I like them a lot. So that is what I will be giving away to one lucky winner. And I'm going to go ahead and pull up my website, which apparently I forgot to log into before the stream here. So give me 1 second while I get this pulled up, and then we will go ahead and pick a winner and see who is going to win. What are these star things I'm talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? What star things? I don't think I talked about stars. Oh, right. You're on Facebook. Facebook has stars. So is that, I think it's like a default thing that plays when you do a Facebook. You can support me by sending stars. Yeah. So Facebook has stars that you can send creators. that I think is like I think it's like giving them a donation. I'm not honestly the most familiar with it because I don't really send stars. I post a lot of things on Facebook. I have a Facebook group. I have obviously my Facebook page and I do a lot of that, but I don't do and I do obviously reels and that type of thing, but I'm not the most familiar with how stars work. But if that's what you're talking about, since you are on Facebook, I know it's something where people can send them to creators to support the creators. So that is what that is. Um, but all right, let's go ahead and we will do the giveaway. We had 486 entries. And one thing I will say, guys, I have more giveaways coming. And when you are entering the giveaways, make sure that you utilize all of the entries available to you. So on the website, there are, and I'll go ahead and I'll pull this up real quick. On the website, so if we go to the giveaway page, you can see obviously all the previous giveaways I've done. You can't see it right now because the giveaways ended. Like I said, there's 486 entries, but down here, there's everybody gets one entry, and then there's a bunch of different other entries that you can get. I think you can get up to 5 entries in the giveaway, and there's a lot of people that didn't use all 5 entries. Looking at it right now, there's somebody who only had 1 entry. There's a few that had 5. There's one with 4, one with 2. Make sure you're using all the entries. You don't have to actually have a Facebook or an Instagram or a TikTok, I think is one of the ones. You don't have to have those platforms to at least click through and get credit for that entry. I just have those in there to give people additional credit and make sure you guys are aware of the other platforms that I'm on. But make sure you're getting all the entries because like this person who only has 1 entry, instead of having a 1 out of 486 chance, you could have had a 5 out of 490 chance of winning the giveaway. So just want to put that out there for you guys. But let's go ahead and we can pick the winner here. So this is random. It's done on my website, technicallyjeff.com. There's a plugin called Raffle Press that takes all this information, and then you can pick a winner, and it just randomly chooses one of the people that have entered. So I'm going to choose one winner. We will see who the winner is. All right, the winner is David Jackaway. David Jackaway, you have won the EV6 floor mats from 3D Mats USA. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an email at the email address that you provided, letting you know, obviously, that you won. And I'm going to need you to reply with the information that I need. Basically, I'll need your phone number and your property address that you want them shipped to, and then I will get them shipped out to you. So congratulations, David Jackaway, for winning. And for everybody else, thanks for participating in the giveaway. Like I said, I got more giveaways coming. Hopefully, I'll do more of these live streams and giveaways for you guys in the future. But yeah, this has been fun. I like talking with you guys, and I'm glad that Facebook and YouTube was able to cooperate and work well with StreamYard here. And I look forward to talking to you guys in the near future. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. I know a lot of people email me with questions about a variety of topics. Feel free to email me, message me on Facebook, leave comments on videos on YouTube. I think G-Man says it right here. Congratulations, David. And for the giveaway, of course, like I said, I like giving back to you guys. I'm glad to be able to do giveaways, and I hope to be able to do a lot in the future with all these things that I have that I've reviewed because I don't have a need for a lot of them. So might as well give them to you guys since you guys are the ones watching my content, and I really do appreciate all your support. So I hope you all have a great night. Brian took the words out of my mouth. Hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you guys soon, and I'll see you in the next video.